Good morning, good afternoon. How is everybody? I'm so happy to have you guys. This is Jennifer Beckley, and you guys are attending the 12-Step Roadmap webinar series, and this is How to Achieve Accelerated Results. We're talking about digital marketing. I see lots of people I know on here. So I'm going to just say some hellos and thank you for attending. To some regulars that I see joining, Ann Powers with Air Care Systems, great to have you. Bruce Waterman, my marketing man, great to have you. Jan, fantastic. Janice Thompson, Custom Wireworks Jewelry. Janine and Diego, you guys are loyal. I love seeing you guys here. Jeff Shoemake, fantastic to have you. Lisa, Rick Bloom, and so forth. You guys, we've got a great group of attendees. I just wanted to recognize a couple of you that are very committed to coming back week after week after week. And I also want to prep you. Today we're going to do a little bit of an overview. We're going to talk, that means participate. So you guys, whatever background noise you may have, try and get to a room where you can participate and you can communicate with me. This is going to be your chance to be able to ask questions, share ideas, information. I want to hear from the sessions that you guys have attended so far. I want to hear, what have you implemented? What has worked? What do you still have concerns with? My coach constantly says, Jen, keep asking great questions because that's how you get great answers. And so I don't want anybody to be shy on here. We're all learning. I'm asking constant questions of my mentors and coaches. And so I just want to make sure that we're all doing what I say constantly, which is show up, suit up, and participate. So I don't want you to just show up today. I know you're all suited up and you're prepped and ready. Suit up in this environment is going to mean that you're sitting in a quiet room, you've got a pen and paper, you have your notes out from the past event, that you're ready with your questions to be able to bring to the table, and that you can get the most out of your time with me today by participating. So I do want to make sure that you guys are in that position. That's how you are going to be able to maximize your time with me during this hour. So first off, I respect everybody's time. I know that you have 101 things that you could be doing, and you chose to spend your time with me this morning, and I appreciate that. I don't take that lightly. My job is to make sure that we're continuing to provide information, how-tos, strategy, coaching, accountability, and so forth that's going to help you accomplish your goals. And sometimes it's going to be to identify what your goals are. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. While you guys right now are taking notes on what the questions are that you are going to bring to the table, I'm going to go over what we've done so far. We're going to do just a quick recap. You guys, we're about to move into session 2, and we're going to have a big change. I had a incredible meeting with my coach and mentor, and we walked through the 12-step roadmap training program and really evaluated what works, what doesn't work, and what we can do better, and are going to continue to flesh out the program and be able to modify it so that we're constantly helping you guys do the right things at the right time in the right order. Most business owners and professionals are constantly attending trainings, and they are getting excited and ramped up and feeling this kind of powerful jolt of energy when you come from a training and you want to implement something. And so whatever was at that training is what you focus on. With our program, we're very, very focused on the sales supply chain and making sure that you put the right things in the right place at the right time. So many times you're going to see business owners, they'll come, they'll bring an idea to the table. So maybe they'll say, well, you're focusing primarily on this. What about this? And I may say no. Not no, you shouldn't do it. No, you shouldn't do it right now. Infrastructure, setting up the right technology, that's going to be critical. So as we're going through the training series, I want you to make sure that if you're just coming on the series right now and you have not attended the other series, take time to attend those. The first one is more of an orientation. Second one, we were talking really about coaching strategy and making sure that you have a good plan, that you're able to identify what's important to you from core values. You're able to identify the time matrix, where you spend your time, what you should do more of, what you should do less of, and what you should stop doing. So we have a start doing, stop doing, and do more of activity that will help walk you through in your day. Where can you carve off time? How can you get more minutes so that you can focus it on income generating activities? Now, in order to be able to do that, having complete clarity as to what you want in your business, what you want in your life is going to be critical for you to be able to really, really get the best plan in place for you and your business and your life. So step one, we also talked about coaching. We went through and did a complete marketing matrix. I'm going to point out real quick, as you're going through each of the training series, the homework for each of the series you can access right here. So if I click on Access Homework, it's going to open up another page. And during each homework, or during each session, we've created different homework assignments that are going to allow you to be able to properly prep yourself in many different areas. We're going to pause on homework for a couple weeks because we want you to be able to catch up. I know that it's a lot of planning and strategy, but you constantly have to be fine-tuning your plan, your process, your strategy, and really putting yourself in a position to be successful. There's a careful balance, you guys, of doing and prepping. So I want to make sure that you have time. Like right now, you guys are in, you're attending a session. This is really about strategy and education. So hopefully, as a coach and a mentor to you guys, I can help you figure out when do you need to pull back from working and get organized, and when do you go and not get stuck in the details, which is, you'll hear me talk about production before perfection on a regular basis. So I'm just going to briefly go over these homework assignments, and while I open each one of these up, I want to allow you guys to raise your hand if you've been through homework assignments for session 1, 2, 3, or 4, and you've completed some of those activities, or you've got stuck on some of those activities. I want you to go ahead and raise your hand, and I want to have a conversation and be able to help you really figure out how to complete those areas of those. So I'm just going to open these up. I'm going to do a brief overview. And again, I'm staring at the screen. Anybody that's got their hand raised, I'm going to call on you, and I want to be able to have a conversation. And please trust that having an open conversation in this forum, not only is it beneficial to you because it allows me to provide you with information you need, but in addition to that, it also is going to help the rest of the attendees that are on here as well. So don't be shy, please, please, please. All right, the first section that we did is we went through the considerations that are going to help you define and clarify what your goals are. So define and clarify is your what, your why, your purpose, and your vision. Next, we went through a time matrix, and this is critical. You guys, there are constantly things that are distractions, waste of time, things that pull you away from activities that are going to help you. I love that you guys are jumping into the document. I see I've got an ifrit and a chip. I don't even know what that is. I'm not going to try, but there are constantly things that are going to pull you away. So again, let me just go through the time matrix because I think that people are still struggling with the phrase, I don't have enough time. In your life, you are going to have tasks that are important and urgent. Important and urgent. This may be a customer trying to cancel. This may be you're getting a notice from a creditor. This may be that your foundation is breaking in your house. These are things typically, maybe that you're going through a divorce. It may be that your child is having problems in school. Typically, when something becomes important and urgent, it's because maintenance wasn't done to prevent something from getting to that stage. So think about it. Important and urgent. What are the fires? If you were to make a list of everything you were doing in a day, what are the fires that you're having to put out that prevents you from getting on that conference call with the new customer, or that prevents you from being able to work on your marketing activities? So if you were to go through, make a list of important and urgent, which those are fires. So go through your life and think about all the fires that are eating up your time. Next, important but not urgent. Important but not urgent. This is your zone. So I'm going to write in here HLAs. Okay? This is where we want to spend our time. This is our zone. What are the activities that are important but not urgent? So this may be writing proposals, doing consultations, delivering orders, having meetings with your coach. It might be attending trainings. This might be writing emails, email management, and so forth. There are certain things, studying, becoming sharper, fine-tuning your skills, making lists, completing tasks, and so forth. So think about in your life, spending time with your spouse, spending time with your child, paying attention to your child's schoolwork, planning a vacation. Again, important but not urgent. HLAs are going to allow you to, what I call, work in the pocket. This is where you're going to be most successful, and this is where you need to aim to stay. There are many imbalances in people's lives that are preventing them from doing that. So going through and making this list, I don't want you to just look at this document and not go through and make this list. Right now, you have specific goals in your business, specific goals in your life that you're not attaining as fast as you want to, primarily because this area right here, which I call the time matrix, is not in complete balance. And so I encourage everybody who's on this call, let's go through some of these things. Important but not urgent. For those of you that are participating, if you have an example of something that's important but not urgent to your business, raise your hand and tell me what those things are. I'm gonna drag it out of you today. Otherwise, I'm gonna pick you and I'm gonna unmute you. Ann Powers, I'm about to pick you. Ann Powers.
For me, because I try to manage everything and everybody, so for me, it's important to know what's going on, but not be involved in everybody else's business as I go. So that's my main important, but not interest.
Okay.
It also falls under time sucker.
Absolutely, absolutely. So maybe there are other people that need to be more. They need to improve the skill of being self-managed, more self-disciplined. So if we were to get them into some of our trainings that are about time management, making lists, defining what high leverage activities are, maybe we can put some of that ownership on them, because I know you are in the zone right now, my friend. I love seeing what you're doing. Your husband is even sending notes and saying, wow, this woman is on fire. So you are absolutely on it. And this is going to be, this is an activity that if you can pull back and you can go through this activity with your team members, you can get them to participate in the process and be able to pull some of those things off of your lap. Do you think it would be possible for you to take some of the other team members and for you to go through this process with them as well?
Oh, I think so.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Good stuff. All right, I'm gonna unmute someone else, and Ann, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Sophia, running daily for ebooks instead of posting.
So, Sophia, let me unmute you, and I want to visit a little bit about that. Do you have a mic on, Sophia?
Can you hear me now?
I can. Verizon says yes.
Okay, great.
So, Sophia, what do you mean? Talk to me a little bit about this. Is so you're putting this in the important but not urgent area. Talk to me a little bit about it.
Oh, okay. I was involved with this program called the Number One Book System, where you wrote a series of books, but you did each book like within 3 to 4 weeks. You did it quickly. Now I'm in the middle of rewriting them, which I'm rewriting them and editing them completely. I mean, intensely. They're going to be completely different, but it takes a lot of time. But in the meantime, I still want to work on my blogs, work on the DNet blog, post on Facebook, and all that writing in front of the computer, it's exhausting. So it's hard for me to keep it continuous, I guess, on a daily basis. Like, I'm really good with the posting maybe 2 to 3 times a week, but then the writing I try to do at least 5 times a week.
Okay.
So I think I'm not sure if I'm just trying to find my rhythm or my balance. I'm not sure where I'm at right now.
So let's address this first. Let me first start by saying that writing, and I'm going to drop it in here, what you're doing is absolutely in the pocket. Critically important, but not urgent. And what I mean by that is if you're going to write a book is the best thing, and you just actually totally set the stage for the entire next phase, which is all about content writing. Our next month, is content writing. Everything about content writing, how to write it, SEO content, messaging, blogs, ebooks, and everything else. We've got one of the best writers on the planet, Tammy Kling, who heads up our communication department, that's going to be participating on that. So you're in really good hands, and your issues are going to be solved over the next 30 days. So that's awesome. But let me just tell you, what you are working on, even if it feels like there's kind of a sense of overwhelm or a level of frustration, put those feelings to the side, because you're absolutely working in the pocket. Your business comes from communication. Everything surrounding business resolves in communication, period. So you being able to take a book, and if you spend 1 hour on a book, that piece of content can be, we call it article spinning. It can be spun into a blog content, a series of questions, a webinar. It can be spun into your blog post, an ebook, a downloadable book, and then put into a large series or a larger book as well. You cannot spend your time from a marketing standpoint better than prepping that content. Many people, that's what they struggle with. They want to be able to outsource marketing and so forth, but they don't want to leverage their voice. And in a digital environment, your voice comes through in content. So I just want to commend you on focusing on something that is absolutely important, but not urgent. It's working in the pocket. So we'll work on some of those details as far as arranging time and feeling more comfortable on what to work on. But please know that you're spending your time in the right area.
Can I ask just one quick question, or do you want to move on?
No.
Okay. Well, what I wanted to ask you was, I also love doing interviews of people I feel that have gone through a long journey to create the life that they love, because that's my theme, creating the life that you love. But I get so wrapped up and lost in it, and I put too much effort into it. So now I'm going to switch for now until I get these books completely rewritten, because I've got 3 in the series. I'm going to just, I think Kathy Marshall suggested this, but I'm going to go to all our members' websites and try to write about them and write about you, and just take the videos you already have and load those into my DNet blog and my other website blog to make it quicker.
Okay. So smart. Absolutely. Leveraging existing content is critical. Let me give you one more tip. You can just pull it right off our board. We are launching a radio show 2 weeks from now. And so I'm in the process of prepping myself. I'm doing the prep stage first, prepping myself so that I can make this a very fast, effective, and efficient process. So follow this, and you can take a copy right of this document and modify it for you. So see this, the first thing I did is I want to make it easy for people to request to get interviewed with me. I don't want emails. I don't want phone calls. I don't want random text messages. I want a very clean process. So would it be helpful to walk you through my process?
Yes. Do you want to do that now?
I'll do it now, because everyone on here, so when we talk about important but not urgent, leveraging third parties, leveraging strategic relationships. I want to say it was session 2, one of the homework assignments was for you to identify what do your customers really want and who can give it to them, and it might not be you.
Right.
So if you think about this, you're actually, in one instance, you kind of have this feeling of overwhelm because you're working on a personal book, which I'm doing the same thing right now with Tammy Kling. I'm authoring a couple books at the same time, so I feel you. But I'm also managing blog content. I got a newsletter that comes out in 7 days. I got to have all the articles ready for weekly, daily content for all of our social media accounts and so forth. So I'm with you. So for everyone that's on here, this is critical. This is also a way, if you're not to the point where you can write a book and you can focus on writing mass amounts of blog content, this is the fastest way to get content without you having to do all of the work. Fastest way to get content. So here's the process. Step 1, on your website, put up a button or a link somewhere that's easy for other people to access that says get interviewed or something like that, or be interviewed on our radio show, or I'd like we interview subject matter experts in these possible fields and so forth. The first thing that happens is I have a web form. If somebody puts in their company name, and by the way, if you guys are on this call and you're interested in being interviewed on our radio show, this is a radio show that's specifically to broadcast people who are going through this process what significant accomplishments they've made, strides in their marketing, this everything. So if you guys are interested in getting interviewed, by the way, go do this while you're here. Little plug. So put in your company name, first name, last name, email, telephone, and website. Now that's not all the information I want. When you hit submit, you are going to get, I'm going to go to my little arsenal thing. So I have, that is going to send you to radio interview document. And actually I'm going to pull up Richard Hassman's. I know he's not going to mind. Richard Hassman was one of the first people to fill out the radio show interview guide, which I'm putting the onus on the person who wants to be interviewed, not on me. I'm doing people a favor by providing them with exposure, marketing, blog, content, and everything else that they can leverage. I want them to go through the work. I want them to make my life easy so that I can do more of this. I can help more people. Make sense?
Yes.
So for you, same thing. Don't take on the ownership of that. If somebody wants to be on your show, make them go through a little bit of work. If they want you to write about them, go through a little bit of work. I'll tell you, I love having third-party people write about me. If you were to say, Jen, I want to interview, I want to write some articles about you, your organization, what you're doing, I need you to fill this out, I would absolutely say yes, that's my job. So Richard Hassman has all of his details about him. It has then who's going to be the show host. You've got some information. This is a shared document on Google Drive. So we have a master document. Let me show you how this works. The master document is, I want to say it's this one. I need to put the word master after it. Let me just do that while I'm here. Speaking of always being organized. Okay. So this is a master document. It's a blank document that has all of the details in it. Now, for you, so Sophia,
Yes.
all you're going to do is you're going to click, when you go fill this out so I can interview you, you're going to click File, and you're going to click Make a Copy, and you're going to copy this document over, and then you're going to have total rights to edit it all you want, change out the logos, put your logos on it, change out content. If you want to ask different questions than I do, knock it out, but you now just finished your entire interview document in about 3 seconds.
Okay.
Okay, so basic information, then it goes into interview questions. What are the top 10 questions we can ask you during the interview? The goal is to educate and empower our guests to go personally, technically, financially, and professionally. So let the person that's getting interviewed answer those questions. For you, Sophia, I want you to go through here, fill this out, and I want you to give me 10 questions that I can ask you during our interview that's going to highlight your business, your organization, your mission, your passion the best.
All right.
All right, next one is, who is your ideal client? I want to know who this video is good for so that when we're marketing your show, we have the ability to put you in front of the right people and know when to recommend this particular show. Next one, links to your social media accounts. We may use these to drive posts and drive people to these, so I want to know what's your website, your fan page, your Twitter, your YouTube. You as the show host, do not go do this for your guests. It's their responsibility to do this if they're going to use your time. Unless you're going to charge them a big interview fee, and then, of course, you can provide the administrative assistance. Next, introduction and marketing. You want to be able to introduce your guests. You want to introduce them, one, on the show. Two, you want to be able to introduce them on blog posts, short descriptions for social media sites. You may have banners or graphics that you're going to create, so you need a title, short description, long description, and you want to know what are their calls to actions. Don't let them get off that interview without telling the audience where you want them to go and what you want them to do. So you have to educate your guests and make sure the goal, all marketing is twofold. A, connect, B, convert. So everybody write that down. A, connect, B, convert. So don't forget the conversion piece. You got to tell people to go do something next. Okay, next one, where are you going to put the sales page for them to get whatever that call to action is or that offer? If they're going to be referencing websites, which a lot of people do in those interviews, let them give you a list of those websites. So when you complete the marketing practice that occurs for an event-based marketing activity, write this down again, write down event-based marketing. This occurs in 3 stages: before, during, and after. The before is who's going to be on the show, what kind of value they're going to bring, who the audience is that should benefit from the information that's going to be shared, what the date is, the time is, and how people can attend. The during is always digitize the content. Make sure you walk out of that with a recording, an audio podcast, a webinar, a video, and so forth. We can talk about the types of technology to use for those things as well. There's many free pieces of technology out there to do all of that. So don't get hung up and don't go spend a lot of money. I'd rather have you post a question on our fan page and ask me what should you use than go spend a lot of money on that. Okay, but the final one is after the event. After the event, you're going to be, as a host, more enlightened and informed about whatever the topic was. And you're going to need to write a post that says it was great. You're going to promote the digital archive of that show. You're going to promote on your websites, your blogs, your social media sites, and so forth. So one event, one 1 hour show, or 30 minutes or 15 minutes or 8 minutes or whatever it is, allows you to have 3 times the leverage from a marketing standpoint. You can have 3 different titles. That's 3 different drawers you can put your content in from a search engine optimization standpoint. You can have 3 different titles on social media, so you can make one more creative, one more logical or educational, and you can make one funny if you have a blooper in the show or something like that. So really leverage that. But you're going to need to be able to reference, if they're talking about particular links, you're going to want to be able to reference those in your after, your post, before, during, and after marketing. Next one, what are the key phrases and cities we should focus on? Don't forget, your job is to do the best job as a host you can. So help them understand, or help them help you understand, what are the primary key phrases, or keywords, key phrases, and cities or locations or geography locations that they want to focus on. That's going to help you as well. And somebody that only does business in Hollywood, and you happen to have a national show where you have a client base that's a US-based show. Next one, sponsors or mentors. If they have people they want to I want you to think about this. When you have somebody on the show, for example, if you were to interview me, I would absolutely give thanks to my coaches and mentors. Lars Lofstrom, Tony Jerry, Andre Neal, Jim Fortin. Those are my primary mentors over the years in my marketing career and as an entrepreneur. So I want to give thanks to them. What does that do for you? That gives you the ability to mention those names in your blog post and start getting picked up for some really powerful people's names. Next one, giveaways, calls to actions. What are they going to give the listeners? Maybe it's a downloadable book, a white paper, a document, a free consultation, a coupon, a discount, an event ticket, a webinar, a video. What are they going to get? So just what is it, and what are they going to link to it? So you're making them be prepared. And then finally, let your attendee who you're interviewing give you a recommendation on who else you should interview. So for us, I say, do you know any successful business owners, authors, speakers, executives, or sales professionals that can provide great value to our audience? Who do you recommend that we interview on our next show? So remember, connect. You're connecting with a new guest for your show. Convert. Turn it into 3 more guests. All right. The next area is speed matters. Be more prepared so you can do more faster. So once we get this back, I have our design team put together some marketing materials. They might not use everything on here, but we already know we're going to put together a Facebook profile banner that's going to market that guest. Why? Because we want it on our profiles. 2, because we want it on their profiles. It's helping them market your show, but you're promoting them, so they're more likely to put it on there. So just kind of giving you some ideas. That's essentially, hopefully, that helps you feel a little bit at ease in tomorrow you can make, or today, you can make a copy of this document. You can modify it for your particular show, customize it with all your branding information, and make a couple changes on a website. And when you launch your radio show and you're going to start doing interviews, you know you're going to sit back and you're going to let those people who want to, my dad always said, both people have to come to the table with more than an appetite. You want to attract people in their business that have more than an appetite. They don't just want to sit down and eat. So tomorrow you can make those changes. Drop this in their Is that helpful to you, Sophia?
Sorry, I muted myself. Yes, fascinating. Who would I discuss putting this interview button on my website? I have a web person, but I like to get quotes. Should I just send it to your support system like a question?
Yeah, you can do that. That's fine.
Okay.
Absolutely. Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, hopefully that helps. For everyone else, you guys, when we're, let me go back to the homework session. And I think we're here. So right here, I'm going to put in here interviews. Interviewing third parties. So Scott Burnside, I've got you on the call. Let me use you as an example. Scott Burnside has portable air conditioners. Spot Cooling is the name of their company, and they primarily provide portable air conditioners to large IT rooms. Sometimes that can be in hospitals. Scott, I'm going to unmute you. Sophia, thank you so much. Perfect. Scott, you have strategic partners that are in certain industries, such as someone who's responsible for a large, someone who is responsible for a large hosting server room. If you were to bring those individuals on as subject matter experts and start talking about how critical it is, the difficulties of managing a server room, how critical it is to keep things cool, how that can impact the success rate for their clients and so forth, talk to me a little bit about how you think that could benefit you by interviewing strategic partners that are within your niche industries that you want to get into. I should ask if you have a mic first. Hey, Scott, if you want, you guys, if you don't have a mic on your computer and you want to be able to communicate, you guys can turn the volume way down on your computer and you guys can call into the number that you got in your email. Let me check. Let's see here. Let me check chat messages real quick. Okay, perfect. All right, so I'll give you guys, just for Scott's business, if he was to interview hospitals, server room individuals, he does a lot of, if he was to interview event planners, they have this huge air conditioning system that you can, it's a portable air conditioner, you can put it outside at a party, at a wedding, if you're doing something outside, a barbecue and so forth, so event planners, it would be great to be able to interview them. But think about this. If Scott was to call event planners and he was just to call them and say, hey, you guys, I've got this great cool system. You can put it out at barbecues, parties, and so forth. Immediately, they're going to feel like this guy's trying to sell me something. I'm not interested. However, if Scott was to call them and say, I'm the blank of Spot Cooling. We're a professional such and such. We have a radio show that focuses on a few different areas. One of the areas that we like to highlight is events. You're going to get a lot of exposure. We'd love to be able to have you jump on a quick interview. It'll be 10 minutes. We want to learn a little bit about you and your business and learn, who's a good client for you and so forth, and how you guys are currently managing keeping the outdoors cool or keeping the event cool. If you guys are doing an outdoor wedding, we have lots of people that ask us. And that's a great way. You think someone is going to be way more interested in participating and jumping on a phone with you because you are, we call it doing favors in advance. Okay, doing favors in advance, DFA. You're doing something that's going to help promote them. Now, if you were to record that video, you're talking about them, you're bragging about them, guess what they're going to do to that video? They're going to send it out to their client base because you're featuring them. What's that going to do for you? It's going to put your brand, your name in front of their audience. By what? Giving, not selling. So that's another awesome way. Sophia, I'm glad you're doing radio interviews, and I hope everybody does this as well. All right. So important but not urgent to... Actually, anyone else have anything in the important but not urgent you want help with? Hopefully you see that if you participate, you're going to get more than you bargained for as far as an answer back. You might even get some quick tools and tips and some things that help compress time and accelerate whatever you want to get to. So if you want to raise your hand, please do. All right, Janine. Love it. Janine and Diego, talk to me.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, well, this is actually not asking for help, but I did find, because I have several Facebook posts that I need to do because I have different pages, as well as with Google Plus and then with Twitter. I found that if I, like on Sunday, if I narrowed out 2 hours of my time, that with all the posts, because I like to do pictures with, the words on the picture and then use that as the post and then put words to the post.
Uh-huh.
And etch out a couple hours on Sunday that I can get all 7 done for each page, or 14, however many I'm doing per page, and then do the same thing for Twitter and Google Plus, so that when the week comes, I'm not going, oh my God, I got to do this today, because I've already done it all on Sunday. It's just getting out there and either scheduling the posts or just doing them, as opposed to going, so you just get it out of the way in one shot and you're good to go.
Absolutely, I love that. Let's focus on this for just a minute, and I'm going to give you guys some ideas and tips to be able to accelerate that process even further. So we're going to do posts, and I'm going to put in here prep, being organized, and I'm going to put in here automated technology. So let me give you guys another scenario. Janine and Diego, you guys are right on the money. You've got to do it. You've got to do it every week. So what does that look like? Let me show you guys a few different tips and tricks that'll help really accelerate your results in this area. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into my Google world. Inside Google Apps, I use Google Docs for everything. Why? Because it's collaborative and you can share. I'm going to jump into a little folder that I have called Marketing Arsenal. I'm going to jump into Marketing Images. These are the images that we have that are either motivational or entertaining. So every single one of these images, you'll see funny little things. Now, I'll tell you, I have a team of guys that put together all these images. You'll see lots of names from everybody that's working on putting these inside this. One of these, my little man, this is our son, Terrell Bagley, and so you'll see he's participating by dropping these in here. I'm going to back up for just a second, and I am going to go to the marketing video library. You're going to see, again, this is by Terrell Bagley. This is my son. Inside here, you're going to see links to, so here, we'll just go over this. No posting, rules of social media, no sex, no negativity, no politics, no religion, no sports. So this is the guidance that I give him when he's going through and looking at these. The types of videos or the categories we're looking for is motivational, inspirational, funny, entertaining, social media, customer service. And you're going to notice this is part of his job. He goes through and he puts all of these videos here. So we instantaneously have access to anything that we need for all our social sites. Now, in addition, let me move over to our project management system. In addition to that, we have, first off, I have a team of photographers, myself included, that are constantly taking images. What is the project for quotes? So you guys, one of the things that we're doing is we are building a library of custom photos that we have designed, and those photos go into a project, but I can't find it. I'll come back to it. So in the same thing that we have in here, okay, in design. Got it. Jeez, we have a lot of projects. Okay. So, and you can tell I'm not exactly the one that actually works on this. I just use it all. So all of these are pictures. So we have a photographer that takes photos, myself included. Mike and I are driving from here to Vegas. We've got a trip in like 13 days. We're driving across the country. This summer we spend 3 months in Seattle on a houseboat. And we take photos. We're constantly taking landscape photos, motivational photos, things we can use. You guys, from a marketing standpoint, if you are having to purchase or reuse other people's content, it's not as great. If you can develop a library of photography that's your photography, so you'll see, I'm guessing, this is an image I took when I was in the British Virgin Islands for 10 days a little while ago. I'm randomly going to click them. Same thing, I love this because it was a heart. Another BBI picture when we were on catamarans. This is a picture from Hawaii and so forth. So lots of just photos. They're pretty photos that we can use for different marketing. I'm just randomly picking. This is actually Mike and us and the kids went to Rockwall and we took a picture of the lighthouse. So just to kind of give you some ideas. Now also inside here I have my leaders and mentor Tammy Kling provides us with a series of quotes that we can use on these. These are Tammy's quotes. We have my own quotes, and we have Tony Jerry provided over 100 quotes for this program. So his quotes, this is how organized we all are. We have Google Documents that have all of the quotes inside of them, so kind of giving you an idea. These are quotes from Tony that we reuse on all of our motivational pictures. Now, this is for our clients. We developed this huge library, and all of our clients get access to these, and we post on there. Now, let me give you a quick way to be able to accelerate how posts are being spun out. So, let's see here. Let me go through DNet. We have an app that on Facebook. This essentially, let me move through here. So this is how we do it for our clients, just to kind of give you guys an idea. And this is something you can do on your own, or you can contract and have it automated for you. For example, we create lists. We manage hundreds of fan pages for our clients. And every fan page or every list, so you're going to notice this is a master list, this is my own list, and these are all my own company sites. So this list, these are fan pages. So it has Jennifer Bagley, DNet, Jennifer Bagley, it has all the DNet sites, CI Web Group, Sales, Supply Chain, and so forth, all of our own company brands. We're able to put in a post, so we can put in a status message, we can put in one of our marketing images that has our photography, our quotes, and you can put in bulk, you can put in a blog post. Now, this is the important part. So you're able to repeat. I'm going to say I'm going to put this post out every 26 days, and I'm going to do it until, I don't know, I can pick 15 years from now, whenever I want. We do it by our client's contract. So if a client has a 1-year contract, we do it for a year, whatnot. And then I'm going to stagger these posts. I'm going to have these posts come out every 160 minutes, so that they're coming out on different fan pages. Now, if you can imagine building a library of quotes that automatically are getting distributed out to your sites, you can eventually pull away from everything that is a repetitive task. So these are repetitive tasks. The more automation you can put in your business, or the more outsourcing you can put in your business, the better. You definitely don't want to have hours over hours over hours stacking up on things that you could easily outsource or easily automate. So that's going to be very, very important. So when we go back to this, I'm glad you guys brought this up. I'm going to put in here, important but not urgent is going to be automation and outsourcing. And you'll notice being very, very, I put in here prep, being very, very prep and organized. Critical to being able to execute quickly with marketing. So for us, most of the content that you see published on our pages, our fan pages, our clients' fan pages, and so forth, is stuff that we have put inside a system, and that allows us, instead of sitting behind a computer and having to post content constantly, it allows us to be working on taking photography, creating new quotes, creating new content, things that you can't automate. So, and things that you really can't outsource really well. Now, some of our clients, we have the quotes. It'll have maybe a quote from Tony Jerry, but it'll have a link back to the client's website or a link back to the client's fan page. And that's a great way to be able to leverage strategic partnerships. If you can take a really popular brand or a really popular name, and you can use their name but put your website at the bottom of it and give people access to be able to come grab that image off your website and so forth, that's a great way to do that. So for all of our clients, you guys know, all the images that we create, they're yours. You can do whatever you want with them. You can repurpose them, you can share them, you can post them, you can do anything with them. So if you see something and you want to use it somewhere else and you know that it came from us, there's no restrictions, and you don't have to worry about having copyright or any of that stuff as well. I love it. I love it. I love it. Good stuff. So anyone else, or Janine, any thoughts, or is that helpful to you guys?
Okay, so I would just say that it just makes it more clear that we're on the right track of being more prepared and organized when you get it done in one shot as opposed to every day, because I found that when I have to do it every day, it gets a little tedious and not as fun.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if you're going to do an activity and it's an everyday activity, it needs to be responding to the leads and opportunities that came from the content you posted. Responding to questions, engaging with clients, that's definitely where time needs to be spent. This is a perfect actual segue to not important and not urgent and time suckers. Let me just move into time suckers. One of the biggest time sucker there is Facebook. It is, you have to think about it. Anything that that pulls you away from doing an activity that is productive or going to help you with any of your goals. So if your goals are improve your relationship with your spouse, improve your relationship with your child, make more money, increase your leads, have more dedicated time to marketing, things like Facebook, things like inappropriate, so I'm going to put Facebook on here. I'm a social media, I guess, touted social media expert. However, I'm going to say that social media is one of the worst things there is on the planet, primarily because of how people use it, how inefficient, how ineffective they are with the way that they use it, and the simple use of these tools to be able to escape the real world. So those kind of things are going to prevent you from spending time on things that are going to help you make more money, help you spend more time with family, and so forth. Next one I'm going to go through is email. Email can be one of the biggest time suckers on the planet. For example, CCing God and everybody on an email, sending out an email without a specific agenda or without a good topic or a subject line. Made huge time suckers. Try and think about email and your use of email. If you can pay somebody to go clean up the clutter in your email, or if you can get on a schedule to go clean up the clutter more in advance, definitely do that. But what we're doing is we're trying to make time, so getting rid of time suckers, things that are not important, not urgent. Let me go through. You're trying to make time so that you can work in the pocket, in section B, which is important and urgent, or important and not urgent. All right, the next thing, email's huge. Another one that's really bad time sucker is bad meetings. Another one that is really, these are bad relationships. Another time sucker is negativity. Anybody else want to say any or throw out any time suckers that you are absolutely ready to eliminate?
Multitasking is a time sucker too.
Absolutely. So let me put this. I'm going to put multitasking on both. And let me throw this out there. So think about this. Multitasking, there's two variations of multitasking. You have multitasking as, when I go to the gym, I also listen to an educational video. Or I also listen to a podcast that can help me. Some multitasking, Tony, I watched a video from Tony Jerry. I love that. They need help setting up a gravatar. Can we send them that video?
Sure.
Okay, sorry. So some multitasking is good, i.e., if you need to get exercise, go for a bike ride, but you also need to spend time with your kid. Take your kid on the bike ride. We did this last night. Last night, Mike and I, we needed to eat dinner, so we agreed, all right, well, we need to get our exercise, we need to eat dinner, and plus we haven't spent any time with our teenager. We have a 5 and a 15-year-old. So in one instance, we decided, well, let's ride our bikes to go get dinner. Let's meet our teenager who was out with friends riding their bikes around, so we met him. So in one section, we got our exercise, we eat, plus we spend time with the kids. That is brilliant multitasking, okay? In addition to that, while we were bike riding, we went over our tasks for the day, we brainstormed, and so forth. We sat at the table with the kids and talked about their work schedule and what we wanted them to focus on for the week and so forth. So if you look at that kind of multitasking, that is an elegant solution. That's doing 4 things at once that are all HLAs. In my world, those are HLAs. Now I'll give you another example of elegant solutions or multitasking that is important and not urgent. If you have the ability to go on a vacation with your family, plus bring your mentors or strategic partners on that vacation with you, you're able to bring your children, spend time with your spouse, get away, have time to refresh, get your mind right, and in addition to that, you're also spending time being able to be coached, trained, mentored, and so forth. That's going to be something that's critical to being able to occupy. You were able to use 10 days or 5 days or whatever you're able to get away for, and you'll be able to use that time for more than one activity, and all of the activities are on your HLAs. Some multitasking absolutely can be bad. If you're sitting on this call right now and you're trying to learn, but you're reading emails and you're watching videos, or you're on Facebook, or you're messing around on Google, and you're not fully paying attention to everything that we're going through, if you're not writing down notes, if you're not figuring out how does the content that we're talking about apply to you specifically, that is multitasking. That is a time sucker and going to waste your time, because you could be really getting a lot out of this session right now. So, negativity, major time sucker, allowing your mind to think negative about anything. You've got to be sitting in a solutions-based environment. And you'll notice I'm not just talking about business. I'm talking about business, personal, professional. It all blends together and it all affects each other. So you guys, this is a lot of information. We really jumped back into the time matrix primarily because I know people are trying to figure out. I just went through 7 training series, and I got to figure out, where do I spend my time? What are my HLAs? I feel overwhelmed with all of the training. Don't feel overwhelmed. Start cleaning. If you have to right now, start cleaning your plate of things that are time suckers, not important, not urgent, and get into this area. I'll give you an example. Watering your lawn, important and not urgent. If you don't water your lawn, it could affect your foundation. So in your life, you have a whole bunch of things. Doing laundry, important but not urgent. Why? Because you can't go to an event without clean clothes. So you have a ton of things that are going to fall in this area. Once you're clear on what's important to you, my advice is, don't just make a plan that is strictly business. What you wind up doing, and I'll give you an example. I just talked to a gentleman last week, and he said, I don't have time for any of this. I don't even have time for my own family. That hurts my soul to hear that. If you are making plans, you can have a cup that's going to overflow because you have too much time and energy being spent in one area of your life, and what's going to happen on that, seeking all the money in the world, can absolutely remove all the money from your pocket. If it winds up in a divorce, or it winds up in a costly situation and so forth, it's not going to help you get what you want. So in doing your planning, I just recommend, you guys, there's 168 hours in a week's time. You're going to spend 50 of it sleeping, probably. You're going to spend 18 of it approximately on management type things, as far as taking care, brushing your teeth, washing your hair, and so forth, taking showers, cleanup, and whatnot. You've got 100 hours. That 100 hours has to be divided into you as a spouse, you as a business owner or a marketer or an employee, you as a parent, you as a friend, and so forth. So I'm sure there are people, things, processes that are sucking time out of your life right now, that are burning hours, burning minutes. So, people always ask, how do you get so much done? Well, 1, I say no to a lot of things. 2, I have very, very clear understanding of what I want in life. And 3, I use my minutes wisely. So, you guys, we're just about out of time. So I'm going to go over a couple things that I wanted to make sure that you got. Let's see here. I'm going through homework. Let me move over to homework for session 4, which is last week's session. In here, we really focused on you guys getting organized with your social media content. We broke things down into our strategy, which is essentially 20% of your content being informational and educational. This should come from your blog. If you guys are posting social media content that's not originated from your blog, that's educational and informational, that's pointless. If you guys post something on Facebook, it's gone in minutes. If you post something on your blog, it's more powerful 10 years from now than it is right now. One of my colleagues sent a message over to me and they said, I can't believe it. I just Googled what I think is my most powerful phrase, and the #1 position on Google was an article that was written in 2007. That makes no sense. In the digital world, it makes all the sense. The longer a piece of content is online, the longer it has to grow in strength and power from people reading, commenting, sharing, pushing, visiting, resharing, and so forth, tweeting, liking, +1ing, and so forth. So time is critical. Blog content is permanent. Video content is permanent. Everything else is a waste of time if you don't have those two things done. So I'm not saying a waste of time. I'm saying, again, do the right things in the right order. Blog content first, video content second, third, getting engagement in your network, and do it fast. If you're hiring a social media company and you're seeing, small results, nothing moving, it takes years and years, it takes too long. Social media, you can absolutely ramp up and leverage each other's networks. We cross-market to each other's networks all day long. We leverage each other's databases, we leverage each other's networks. You've got to get some momentum moving, and that can happen very quickly. It doesn't have to take forever. So just something to consider. All right, next, motivational and entertainment. If you guys are on our marketing plan, of course, we'll do this for you. All you have to do is say yes. We put you into, as I showed you earlier, one of our groups, and we post content to your Facebook or fan pages automatically on your behalf. You don't even have to worry about this section. And that is a new program that's coming out actually not a new program that's coming out. We already do that, but the new program is that we're going to have our own group of quotes and so forth that you can have customized for your business. Next, connections, thank yous, referrals, ask for referrals, request referrals, give thanks to people who attended. If you guys are coming to this event, promote it. Promote it. If you guys tag me, you put your name in front of my network. So just to kind of put things in perspective, if, where's Facebook? Let's go here. So let's go here. If you tag me, which I saw Kimberly, I know you did, Ann, I know you did. I love this. So Kimberly, and I got a request, hang on a second. So you see Kimberly tagged me in a post. As soon as I get this tag, my parents are all over Hawaii. They're working in Hawaii this week. They're meeting us in Vegas in 2 weeks. If you want to know where I learned a lifestyle business, it's from my parents. You guys will see them all over my Facebook page. They travel about maybe once a month. They're somewhere. Alaska, Hawaii, Vegas. They're everywhere. All right, so if I go back to here, you're going to see Kimberly, by thanking, promoting, tagging, what Kimberly is doing is she's putting her profile in front of my network. Now, is my network decent? I have 4,999 people that are on my friend list every single day to try and at least leave one available. I have 7,723 followers on here. If I go to my fan pages, so we'll pull up the fan page. If somebody's tagging my fan page, there's 65,000. I think there's another, I don't know, it's like 500,000 people just on Facebook. We're not talking about other social networks. Benefit, absolutely, you guys, if you are tagging, sharing, and commenting on other people's posts and content, this is going to help you put your brand in your name. I know Janine and Diego, you guys have been posting on 12-step roadmaps. I love that. I was able to make a recommendation. Last week there was a small business that came to us and they needed help. I said they should absolutely talk with you guys first. You've been attending the 12-step roadmap. It might be a better fit. Bruce Waterman, we had a gentleman that came to one of our online training programs, and he attended the online training program. I wound up getting on the phone with them. We were going through one of the videos. He saw the post that you and Blake Crenshaw had done together. It immediately sparked my brain to think about, this is a much better fit for Bruce than it is for me. So I know you spoke with the guy out of West Seattle last week. But that's what that does, you guys. It is very, very, very important to come up with this. Next, interaction. Ask questions, engage, comment, like, share. I'll tell you, Amy, I'm not even going to be able to say her last name. Amy had, I shouldn't even try. She contacted me. She's been networking with me on Facebook. I don't believe we've ever met or anything, but she follows all of our content. She follows our posts. She's been communicating back and forth. Yesterday, I saw on my calendar, I had a meeting set up with Amy. I had no clue what it was about. Out of the blue, she referred me to speak at an event in California. I just got an email from someone I didn't know And I know she's a member of DNET, but yesterday she called and she pitched me a business idea. And the business idea was brilliant. You could tell she paid attention to where my efforts are, who my contacts are, who my connections are, and it literally fit right in the pocket with my colleague and partner, Tammy Kling, and we were able to make a connection there, and that's going to be an incredible opportunity. So, get engaged, ask questions, give thanks, give referrals, and start connecting. That's the easiest way to keep your brand, your name fresh in somebody's memory, is to show up, suit up, and most importantly, participate. Don't sit on the sidelines. The last one is convert to business. The other day I had someone, they said, Facebook's not in my marketing profile. That's not in my plan. And I was like, why? And they said, because I've never got anything from it. So my answer was, don't you think that's because it's not in your profile or your plan that you haven't ever got any business from it? So the difference with me, I can go into our CRM system, and I can tell you, and you guys will notice little things. Little things. Let me show you very quickly, and then we're going to get out of here. On all of our blog posts, you'll notice that there is a web form. So I showed you guys one. I want to say this right here. So on all of our blog posts, there's a web form. On all of our fan pages, okay, there's a contact us. That happens two ways. Let me go through. So here, check this out. I'm going to go contact us. Also, I'm going to click live chat. On our fan pages, people have the ability to fill out a form, or they have an ability to connect with us on a live chat. If they fill out the web form on our websites, our social media sites, our Facebook, our YouTube accounts, you guys will notice if you're looking at our YouTube videos, they all say if you're interested in more information, fill out this form. They have a conversion form on it. The conversion forms automatically are going to put those individuals into our central lead management system. I can see every single lead, where it came from, and so forth. So I know out of every marketing campaign, if we create a new campaign, because we create a new page on a website, if you're working with a team or you're not working with a team, if you can't measure, for example, we just made like 30 new pages on our website. We made one for Tammy, we made one for Tony, we made one for a free consult on a YouTube for a 12-step roadmap, and so forth. You'll notice what this says is we have a marketing campaign, i.e., we're doing a blog post, we're doing a social media video, and so forth. B, we're trying to convert, so connect, giving information. Convert is converting them into a new lead. And we can measure for every video, every social media account, every blog post by category, how many open leads, how many won leads, how many quotes, and how many won quotes that we have. So literally for any, and we do a ton of marketing, we have hundreds and hundreds of campaigns that are set up. So these are all just the marketing campaigns that we've set up in the last couple weeks, just giving you an idea. So we know if we go do a campaign for this particular event, these are all the leads that came from it. These were the closed business that came from it. This total event was worth $37,460. What I mean is that when you guys have a thought that says, well, I don't make money from that, or that doesn't bring me business, A, it's because you're probably not using it at all or not using it right, or B, it's because you're not set up with the proper systems and tools to be able to capture and measure your results on that marketing activity. So even when you're working with a web company is going to tell you, when you ask, what's my ROI going to be, they're going to say, I can't give you an ROI. That makes sense, because all I do is bring people to your front door, to this little woman that says, let's talk. What happens after that, I have no clue. That's why you're going to notice the majority of time they spend with you is talking about how much traffic, how long they're staying on your site, and so forth. However, if you really want to be able to improve your results, you're not just going to pay attention to traffic. You're going to start paying attention to leads and opportunities that are generated that turn into real opportunities for you to do business, that turn into real sales and dollars and cents in your pocket. So with that, you guys, I know I'm 5 minutes over again. I'm a female and I'm trying to be on time. It's on my list of to-dos for this year. I want to say thank you to everybody for attending. We're not going to have any homework this session other than to go back to the prior homework sessions and try and finish those up. Hopefully we helped with the time matrix and identifying what your HLAs are. If you guys have questions or comments, please don't hesitate. go over to 12steproadmap.com, click on webinar series, which is right here. As soon as you're on webinar series, on the right-hand side, it'll say ask a question on our Facebook page. Go ask your questions. We recorded from the questions that we got in just since last Tuesday. If you go look at the breakout sessions, which are on the right-hand side, I want to say we did 4 or 5 breakout sessions. So if you're one of the people that asked a question on that fan page, it showed up as a breakout session. Our goal is to digitize that answer for you, how to SEO a blog post, how to set up your universal gravatar, setting up your WordPress user profile to maximize your footprint, how to add somebody as an admin to your Facebook page, what the social media equation is. And this was, I think, was an interview with Ryan